One major aspect of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker that will be explored by director J.J. Abrams has all to do with Jedi, Force, and Sith lore that's going to be used as a benefit for the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren, and also as a tool, if you will, in order to evolve these characters from start to finish of this movie. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is, of course, going to be a revelation film answering all of the questions that we want to know that were not answered in The Last Jedi, that were left pretty much, unanswered in that movie, that are now going to be answered in Episode 9, as well as creating brand new questions at the very beginning of this film that will be answered at the very end of Episode 9. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense for the character of Anakin Skywalker. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be holding hands in a strange environment, where it's described that they are inside the netherworld of the Force, where they are described to be surrounded by tall canyons where the overall atmosphere of the strange realm holds a blue hue just like the Force Ghosts. It's explained that this is all initiated by Luke's Force Ghost that allows them to experience the netherworld of the Force. However, the scene is said to progress to a moment where both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to encounter the Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker, where Anakin is said to deliver both Rey and Ren a lesson about the Force and the galaxy. It's explained that Anakin unveils to Rey and Kylo Ren that the galaxy is just one of many galaxies in the universe, and that the Wills themselves are the ones responsible for creating the entire universe. However, the galaxy is actually said to have been created by what was originally dark side energy by the fallen Will, who created the Beyond, where it's explained by Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost that originally the galaxy was created by dark side energy from a fallen Will, where the other Wills would use the Jedi and the Sith to balance the Force throughout the entire galaxy, and that also the Force itself will always be active as long as the Wills are alive, as they are the official embodiment of the Force itself. It's explained that Anakin also reveals to Rey and Kylo that they now know that they hold the power of the Beyond, as they are nearest to it within the netherworld of the Force, and that the Beyond is a power that exceeds the light and the dark, as it is raw power from the very origins of the galaxy and where it all started. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about the origins of the galaxy being a thing in Episode 9 dates all the way back to the early 2000s. You guys may or may not be aware about this, but there was a story that was not approved by George Lucas that would explore the very origins of the galaxy and the Force itself in greater depth, where a part of the old expanded universe before Disney took over Lucasfilm, I believe it was back in 2012 if I'm not mistaken, before, of course, then, there were plans in order to tell the fans the true origins of the galaxy, the universe, the Wills, everything like that. That is now going to be a little part of Episode 9 in the third act of this movie, through, of course, the Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker. Now, what I like so much about this is that it does dive into the new Force lore that J.J. Abrams is going to explore. In case you guys did not know, Jedi, Sith, and Force lore are going to be a big thing in this movie. It's going to be a big deal by J.J. because, well, it's not only the end of the Skywalker saga, but he's also using this film as a foundation to create something new, to bring Star Wars in a different direction before Disney heads over to the new saga, right? The new Star Wars trilogy that's going to be based within a different mythology. Now, with that being said, how both Rey and Kylo are now said to hold the power of the Beyond. The power of the Beyond is said to be a power that exceeds both the light and the dark, since it is indeed raw power. Now, that's what Palpatine is going to use at the very end of the movie in order to use the Force Conduit technique, which basically allows him to draw energy from both Rey and Kylo Ren. Bring him to a more youthful state, if you will, just like how he was in Revenge of the Sith. So, looking back at episode, 7 and 8, and how it didn't really touch too much on the Jedi, Sith, and Force lore, the fact that it is now going to be a big deal in episode 9 does speak volumes by Disney and Lucasfilm. It kind of tells us that they are really trying to capture, the hardcore fans and bring them into the theaters for this movie come this December, in order to experience a different take on Star Wars, if you will, where it's going to be very heavy on that side of the Star Wars franchise itself. Now, The other piece that I do want to touch on here is how Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost is said to unveil that the galaxy was actually and originally created by dark side energy, by a fallen will that was eventually all balanced out by the other wills by creating the Jedi and the Sith to balance the ways of the Force. So you could really see how they're really trying to dive into the ancient ways of the Force, the Jedi, the Sith, in order to tell a very unique and original story by JJ. Does it sound a little weird? Maybe so, yes, but at the same exact time, it does answer a lot of questions about the galaxy and the universe and how it all started in the Star Wars franchise. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.